All right. Hello, Speedgaming 3. My name is Fortify, and today is the match between jlack and Ednolium. It should be a very fun race in this 2023 All Bosses No Major Glitches tournament. A fun first round match between the two of them. Good luck, have fun to the runners, and as the race goes on, as it progresses, I'll be figuring out commentary and playing tricks here and there and all that. So with that being said, time has begun, or time is counting down right now, I should say. And once again, good luck to the runners. And we are off. So, contrary to last tournament, the last time that you guys have seen Metroid Dread for the Nintendo Switch, this is a different category. This is all bosses, no major glitches. This is a slightly longer variation of any percent, where we do see all of the bosses in the game, all 30. So, for the most part, the run is very similar to any percent. We still go through Artaria, still go through Cataris, etc., etc. However, one of the biggest deviations from the run compared to any percent is in Artaria itself, where usually we do what are called pseudo wave shots to avoid the first Emmy of the game, and it's about a 50 to 60 second save. In this category, we want to fight that first Emmy, so no pseudo waves, at least to start the run. Very nice climb from Ed. Ed opted to grab those early missiles. jlack them. Again, the first unit of the game. We call this Emmy. At some point, all of these Emmys had names, different characters based from Seinfeld. This is the only Emmy's name that stuck. We call this Emmy Elaine. Poor Elaine. She never had a chance. But now that Elaine is out of the way, the run progresses back to any percent. So from here, we go to early Corpius. And this is the first real trick of the game, the first pseudo wave, the early cloaked pseudo. Ed has a shot, and Ed is through. jlack has one shot, struggling to get the second. Anyone who's run this game knows that this is a ridiculous pseudo to try and get, but jlack does make it through. So the thing about the Corpius boss fight is there's different patterns that Corpius can give you at the start of the run, and you can kind of identify what Corpius is going to be doing from the way that his neck is moving. However, you'll notice that if Corpius spits like he did with jlack, unfortunately jlack was not able to capitalize on it, but if you can able to transition Corpius from phase 1 into phase 2, as Corpius is spitting, you get what's called a headlock, where all of the RNG with his head is goes out the window, and his head is locked into the bottom of the phase of his head. So basically, you can guarantee a 2-cycle Corpius fight. Fortunately, it wasn't the case for Ed. It wasn't the case for jlack either. So we continue from there.
Uploading data.
The cool thing about doing early Corpius earlier than intended right here, using this early cloaked pseudo, is that we are able to skip activating the Emmy. I'm sure people familiar with the any percent tournament from last year, or even just familiar with the game, knows that the Emmys are actively patrolling these areas at all times. With the early cloak route for Artaria, the Emmy is not active. And the thing about that is you can run through these ME zones basically no questions asked. There's not a chance that you would be potentially slowed down, so you're able to, on top of the route being faster, you're able to avoid the RNG of it. Coming up to one of our first tricks right here. Ed gets it first try. Very impressive. That water jump right there. One of the first two tricks that make early cloak route faster. You're able to use the Phantom Cloak to kind of buffer a jump, and you're able to skip going into the water section right there. It's about a 40-second save right there. So jlack is going to be attempting the skip now as well. Almost gets it first try. Oh no, and then gets memed. Oh, that sucks. So like I mentioned, it is about a 40-second loss to do this. Hopefully it doesn't end up being too bad of a loss for jlack. We've all been there, where we unfortunately just kind of fall down with the Phantom Cloak. Because of that, though, Ed has a not insurmountable, but a pretty comfy lead early in Artaria. Like I mentioned, a lot of this, now that Elaine has been taken care of, is just regular any percent Artaria. It's not going to be needing to collect any extra additional missiles or anything like that, like in Hundo. Not needing to do any activations of rooms for later. So pretty standard any percent Artaria section now. jlack just grabbing the charge beam. Meanwhile, Ednolium is heading towards the hot areas of Artaria. Pseudos from Ed. Not pseudos, I'm sorry, spinfalls. The sound is similar. My apologies. Rough end to the second climb for jlack. That climb sometimes is harder the second time you do it. I've found. I'm not sure why.
Uploading data.
So Ed is coming up to the second trick that makes this Artaria section faster. It's known as Magus Skip. With Magus, there's a series of jumps that we can do to climb up a wall to activate the ME. The ME obviously is not active at the moment. Beautifully gets it first try. The ME is not active at the moment, so we have to activate it. To activate it, you simply go through its cutscene door. So that activates the ME in Artaria, but we don't care about it at that point, and we just run to the central unit room. Okay, so Ed is gonna attempt to plant kill this this ME. Planting is what we call when we're able to do that. Exactly what Ed just did. Great job, Ed. If you get up that room or those walls quick enough, you're able to basically plant and hold your ground against the ME, and you will take its face shield off before it gets you. So once again, beautiful job from Ed. All right, fifth try Magus for jlack. 3 of those looked really good. I'm not sure what ended up happening there. Maybe he was just slightly too late on an input. So about a minute is separating the runners right now. And to be honest, most of it is the fact that jlack had to go underneath the water. So Ed's going to be making his way out of Artaria now into Cataris. Nice climb. There isn't too many sections in Cataris as well that warrant any extra tricks. So again, this run is very similar to any percent in that fact. Ooh, spicy damage boost from Ed. I for a second thought that wasn't going to work, but it does in the end. jlack is able to kill the Emmy. Looking at a 10:05 exit Artaria time for Ednolium. Beautiful time. But like I mentioned, again, Cataris is for the most part the same exact Cataris or many percent. We're going to be coming up to the fourth and final Atom Room because these runners are doing Atom Skip in this route as well. Atom Skip, for those not in the know or for those who have forgotten, is a series of jumps about halfway through, in a room halfway through Cataris, where you are able to ascend a wall, basically, and skip Atom for the rest of the game. The time save differs depending on one, how quickly you're able to get Atom Skip, but two, what category you're playing. In all bosses, you're probably saving a similar amount of time to any percent, so it's about a 3-minute-ish save, depending on how quickly you're able to get the trick. Oh no, jlack is getting memed by the Plies. Is unfortunately going to have to take the magnet all the way across. Ed going for super boost right here. Very nice. An interesting variation of the setup for it too. I liked that. So it was a 10:05 for Ed, and we're looking at 11:53 for jlack. Ooh, close on Ed. Gets through the hell run pretty effectively. So, minute and 40-ish separating the runners at the moment. Ooh, unfortunate ledge grab from Ed. He might not get through this quick enough. He does. Okay, good. Oh, Ed's going for Hell Pseudo. Okay. Okay, so the thing about Hell Pseudo is that saves all of this. You don't have to go around with this, and it's about another 7-8 second save if you get it first try. However, if you don't get it first try, it is... Ooh, that was flashy. If you don't get it first try, then you are unfortunately losing that 7 or 8 seconds, plus an additional 1.5 seconds for every failed attempt. So, unfortunate, but Hell Pseudo there would have been really cool. Ed is opening this for later, and then we'll be heading on to Atom Skip now. We were calling this in the Any Percent tournament one of the two great equalizers, the other one being the early space pseudo shots. However, that one is not in this one, so in this category, I should say. So if anything, I'd probably call the second one the Drog Fight. However, we are coming up to one of the first ones, good old Atom Skip, so we'll see how quickly Ed is able to get through this. That looks good. Third try for Ed, nice. First try just getting his bearings, second try new. probably wouldn't work. Wanted to try it anyway. Third try is the charm. jlack, meanwhile, on the way towards the first thermal plaid. Plaid, by the way. Plaid is a word. Pad. And will be making his way towards that Hell Pseudo option. jlack gets good RNG, nice. The ME being right there is the best case scenario. You don't have to worry about any potential threats. Oh no, Ed! Oh, but I don't know if he can get through that. Yeah, he knows he can't get through that. No, Ed! Oh, how unfortunate. Oh my goodness. He gets the counter from the Emmy, but then the Emmy is in front of the door, so he just can't get through it. That is so unlucky. He must have just melee jumped 1 frame too late. Oh, that is unfortunate. Luckily, that wasn't a huge loss, since the Emmy door was right there, and that is a relatively quick Emmy room. But that does still suck if you are Ed. Meanwhile, jlack is coming up to his Atom Skip attempts. If jlack is able to get Atom Skip quickly enough, he might end up getting some time back because of the death from Ed. However... Okay, and he does. Okay, no however. So I would say that that's probably like about a 15-20 second gain for jlack because of the death. Because he did get it about 3rd, 4th try. So, tournaments, everyone! You never know what's gonna happen. About a 16:51 on the tram time for Ed, so we'll see once jlack gets there, the deaths and the Atom Skip attempts. We'll see how that adds up for him. He's going to be entering the same room now. Just doing the tried and true safe jump over. I don't blame him 1 second. Nice clip, Hobbit. Thank you for that clip. So Ed entering Dyren now, kind of a cool little research laboratory on the planet. So lovingly called Die a Run by the runners of this game because of its sometimes ridiculously longer than normal load times. I digress. I definitely haven't lost a run to load times in this game before. Ha 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 ha. Making our way to the wide beam as jlack makes his way towards the Dyren tram. Oh my god, I hate that wall kick. I feel that so hard for Ed. So I think that's, in my opinion, one of the most annoying wall kicks in the game, bar none. Ed is activating this first generator right here. jlack is looking at an 1828, so... still about a minute and a half. Sorry, I had to do math in my head. Gross. Still about a minute and a half separating the runners at the moment, despite the death from Ed. Nice, gets the damage boost. Oh, fails the jump. Unfortunate from jlack. So the runners are going to be high-fiving. One is entering, one is exiting Dyren. So about a full section, an entire split for the runners. Excuse me. Jumps went pretty. Climb right there went pretty well, I should say, for jlack. So Ed is going to be making his way to the morph ball now. Normally the morph ball bomb combos are among the first two items that you get in Metroid games. Dread breaks that sequence, and you don't get morph ball until right now from this Emmy. The green Emmy will give you the morph ball upgrade, and we get bombs about 5-ish minutes after that. 5 or 6, give or take. There is a trick that Ed could do here known as Professor Stupid. It loses time on this split, but it saves time on the next. Does not look like he's going for it. I don't blame him. The trick is not called Professor Stupid for a reason. Clean kill from Ed. Meanwhile, jlack is making his way back to Cataris to do the same. There is a Missile Plus pack that Ed could choose to grab right here. It really helps for kind of the Kraid fight, more so for the Dragaiga fight later in the run. So we'll see if he ends up picking it up, and he does. Also, have we settled on a name for that? You guys, Dread Runners of the community, have we settled a name for Drog? Is it Dragaiga? Is it just simply Drog? Have we settled on a name for that? Because I don't know. The boss is so irrelevant to me at for 90% of the time that I've run this game that I don't care what to call it, but not sure. Not sure if we've settled on a pronunciation guide for that. Okay, jlack taking this Emmy down. That was a little weird at first. She used the Omega Cannon to take out the rest of the blob. I thought the Emmy was going to be charging up after him, but he gets this kill as well. That's going to be making his way up to the Varia suit right now. The Varia suit will enable him to obviously withstand hot temperatures, going into lava, all that good stuff. Yo, same Infinity. I don't see the boss since I primarily run Hundo, so. This is a good climb sequence from Ed so far. I liked that that morph. Ooh, good insta charge right there. See if jlack also picks up these missiles, and he does. Again, these missiles work really well for trade. You have a little bit more security, but I find that they're even more useful for Drog as opposed to Kraid. So the runners will be briefly... Oh no. That's awkward from Ed. I've definitely been there. The runners will be very briefly high-fiving in this teleporter sequence right here. One entering it, one exiting from it. Alright, so Ed is back into Catarus now. There's a trick that the runners do in Kraid known as infinite wall jumps. And what these IWJs do is we're able to bypass the second phase of Kraid, and we don't have to wait for any RNG on his on Kraid's shooting his out of his gut. We're able to just jump our way up to the magnet that he's on. We're able to use that to our advantage. So we'll see if Ed goes for these. I believe he does. We'll see how quickly he's able to do that. Also, any jammers in the chat? Really good charge missiles from Ed. And he is going for the IWJs. Fails the first time, but then the second time is able to get up there in 4. That's optimal. Not terrible RNG on Ed's part, but like not bad either, so. Good Kraid fight. Solid Kraid fight. Yeah. 2657 on the diffusion beam. Diffusion beam also making a return to this game from Other M, from Metroid Fusion. This is probably its best form of the item. It's similar to the one in Other M, but Other M's was very out of control, and Fusion's was on its missile as opposed to the charge beam. So this is probably the most clean version of the diffusion beam. But other than that, it really just gives you that little small explosion radius on your charge shot, and other than that, it stops being relevant once you have plasma beam. Because at that point you're doing so much damage to everything with plasma that you don't necessarily rely on the damage from the explosion radius anymore. Of course, it's category dependent, but jlack is going to be entering Kraid right now. Meanwhile, Ednolium is going to be heading towards the grapple beam. We'll see if this Kraid fight goes better for jlack than it did for Ed. Not that his fight went bad, but jlack choosing to not go for the IWJs, going for the shoot the belly method. Unfortunately, jlack enters a counter sequence. These counter sequences, you're able to do a pretty significant chunk of DPS to the bosses. However, you're also doing less damage when you enter a counter sequence. So, kind of a weird thing that you do more damage, but you're doing less damage, quote unquote. It's pretty weird. But it also obviously loses a little bit of time. So as Ed grabs the grapple beam, jlack is grabbing his diffusion beam. So he'll be heading up to that purple TP, where he'll be able to head back to Dyren. Ed playing really well right now. jlack, unfortunately, a lot of his time loss has come from failing the water jump at the start of the run, as well as some unfortunate instances of RNG. But he's definitely not out of it yet. Ed has taken a death, unfortunately, in this run already, so anything can happen in a tournament run, as we know. So jlack's definitely not out of the race yet, despite the lead from Ed. Runners high-fiving once again. Grapple beam to open the door, I love it. Optimal RNG for Ed, which allows for the optimal movement in that room. That was beautiful, Ed. Oh, that's right. I forgot that Ed does this pause buffer for this room right here. Rather than pause buffer pseudo, rather than going for a round, he just blows it up. Why go around when you could just go through it? Forehead is Ed's thinking there. And so now we have bombs. One runner is collecting his bombs, the other is grabbing the grapple beam. So now that Ed has his bombs, he's going to be heading towards the next section called Berenia. I feel like I have ample time to explain what's coming up now, because until he gets there, it's just all movement. Berenia is basically this game's Meridia, however, just not as annoying. That being said, it is a section where there's no Emmy in it, so you're able to just not have to worry about that. However, there's a trick in Berenia to grab a very important item in this run known as the Flash Shift. That trick is known as Backdoor Flash, BDF for short. I know that Ed is probably going for it. It is about a 7 or 8 second save first try. If you don't... or if you have grapple beam, it is about a 7 or 8 second try, or save, if you get it first try. English is hard. It requires a pretty rhythmic, there's the word, sorry, section of bomb jumps, and then once you have those bomb jumps through one of the, what's it called? The sensor doors, they'll open on you, because the sensor doors are programmed for or the shutter doors, I should say. The shutter doors are programmed for if anything is on them longer, or for more than 3 seconds, or less than 3 seconds, I should say. If nothing's on them, geez, I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. I'm so sorry. The shutter doors will open. So that's what we take advantage of in Backdoor Flash. We take advantage of not having to wait for the shutter doors to open, and we're able to go around it. Rather than listen to me explain it in the world's worst way, we'll watch Ed very likely do it. Again, it's about a 7 or 8 second save if he gets it first try, and there's a couple of different ways to do it, to set it up. And he gets it. Gets it a second try. Keeps the door open as well, so it is a true second try Backdoor Flash. So now that we have the flash shift, also known as the greatest movement item in any Metroid game since the speed booster. Basically, now that we have the flash shift on Ed's part, we never stop using it. The general rule of thumb for the flash shift versus the speed booster is if you can get to the location you're trying to get to in 2 flash shift sequences or less, you want to be using the flash shift to get there, and if you cannot do that, then you want to be using the speed booster. Ed gets these pseudos first try on both of them, so he's going to be going for a simple water bomb jump up here. Gets it. Very well done. Ed has built up an entire section of the game between himself and jlack. Again, jlack not out of it by any means, not yet. But we are lead is getting slightly larger for Ed as we go about this. So we'll see if jlack is able to either get backdoor flash first try and cut into that lead a little bit, or if he opts to kind of even it out by going underneath. Good movement from Ed on the way to the yellow MECU. Oh, nice slide to avoid the... Unfortunately, it was a nice slide to avoid that enemy from jlack. Unfortunately, he does get stuck in the mini moat. If B-Dog is watching, I'm sorry. If Sat's watching, haha. Alright, so yes, jlack is opting to go underneath, which should even out with Ed's second try. One runner grabs speed booster, the other is grabbing flash shift. So Ed, now that he has the speed booster, is able to do a bunch of really fun stuff. The speed booster is very prevalent in Hundo, as well as in basically all of the glitchless categories. Not as prevalent in movement-wise in AB, because again, this is basically just a slightly longer any percent. Not something to worth noting at the moment for both runners. jlack is opting to not do this the pause buffers for the pseudos, so he is going to be losing slightly less time, or slightly more time, I should say, because of it. But he should be able to comfortably make that up elsewhere. Meanwhile, Ed is opting to go for the 2 energy tank run as opposed to the more comfortable 3. With 3 tanks, you do have slightly more leeway with the amount of damage that you're able to tank, especially in the late game boss fights. Mainly the Chozo fights, to be honest, like the red and the 2 red soldier fights in Frozen Artaria and Hanubia, as well as the gold fight in Hanubia. So with 2 tanks that Ed has, he's gonna need to be a little bit more careful with the damage that he chooses to tank versus the damage that he chooses to avoid. Meanwhile, Ed getting unfortunately memed on by this this Chozo robot. Was trying to go for the iframes to charge his speed booster to spark into the robot, but unfortunately just wasn't able to get them for a little bit. jlack has finished the yellow Emmy, so he's going to be collecting his speed booster. Meanwhile, Ed is heading back to Berenia 2. Normally, again, any percent Berenia 2, it's a very nice... Oh, Ed gets the full keep. Nice. That's pretty difficult to do, actually, so good job, Ed. What was I saying? Berenia 2 is normally a pretty difficult movement-intensive section in most categories that we play. That culminates with skipping the Drog fight and moving on to Gaverin from there. However, in this category, we have to fight Drog. And fighting Drog is this next big moment in the run that I would personally consider it. Because the thing with fighting Drog is Drog does have a one-cycle kill. You are able to one-cycle this kill. And jlack is collecting that third energy tank, because again, it's a little bit safer. You are able to one-cycle Drog, and it does save a pretty good chunk of time. What sucks is that it's pretty technical to do, not hard, but pretty technical to do. And if you don't succeed in the one-cycle kill, you automatically lose time. You're looking at an automatic 20-ish second time loss just for failing the kill, because Drog goes into his second cycle, which again is about that 20 seconds. So we'll see if Ed is able to collect this one-round kill, or unfortunately just lose that 20 seconds. Very good keep from Ed. And best of luck for Drog. Meanwhile, jlack is heading to Ferenia for the first time right now to fight the robot fight. Very good save from Ed. So the thing with Drog is you want to cancel the counter animation for as long as possible, so that you're able to just do as much damage as possible. Again, it's a very easy fight, it's just a very technical, so... Unfortunately, he is missing a couple of missiles, so we'll see if we can still get this. And he does! Good fight, Ed. So that is the Drog 1 cycle. Solid Berenia Tower, and he gets through into Gaverin. Good job, Ed. Meanwhile, jlack done with the Quiet Robot fight in Ferenia and is heading back into Direne to head to Berenia. Like I said, that fight for Drog can go very well, like it did for Ed, or very bad in the way that you have to wait for the second cycle. So, just really, really technical fight. Not hard, but really technical, that even if you do it perfectly, sometimes you still just don't get it, so... So this is why I said also those missiles that before trade that we picked up were better for Drog and like the immediate aftermath as opposed to for trade. Obviously Ed had a bunch of missiles for Drog, but also for that fight after Drog, for that robot fight. "45 minutes on the dot for super missiles for Ed, so that'll be easy to track for when jlack gets there, because he's heading to Berenia right now. Ed's going to be heading up to Elune right now, the quarantine area on planet ZDR. Obviously, story-wise, we're called here because of all of the, ooh, very nice damage boost, actually. That's clean. I like that. We're called here because of the, threat of X-Parasites, so this is where they all are. Also where the plasma beam is, which we'll be picking up next. Ooh, jlack just barely missing out on that spark. That's unfortunate. A couple frames too late. But now we'll see if he's able to get the drawed kill. Nice, well done. Ooh, nice flash chain from Ed. That was, I don't think I've ever seen that. That was nice. The optimal RNG from jlack, or that Drawd gives him, is what I personally would consider the optimal pattern. Oh, jlack is not going for the quick kill. Okay. So, unfortunately, that's just, I'm not sure if he doesn't know it or if he's not as practiced in it as he would like to be, but going for the 2-round Drawd. So you start to see as well just how much more time that 2-round Drawd fight takes as opposed to the one. So it's a pretty pivotal fight in the category. And oh, interesting. Okay, so we haven't seen that in a while either. The original Phantom Cloak Magnet for the Berenia Tower strat. Haven't seen it in a bit. Hadn't learned it yet. Got it. Thank you for confirming that, Metatron. Ed, meanwhile, is on his way back to Gavarin with the plasma beam. He's going to go take out the Ice Emmy. Really good, really clean movement on the way to the Ice Emmy. Ed is no stranger to movement leading up to the Ice Emmy as a former glitchless runner himself, primarily glitchless runner. He and one of the most intensive speed keeps in the game is glitchless early ice. So no stranger to the movement leading up to this Emmy. Gets the hardest trick in the game right there with that cutscene skip. And he'll be making his way to the Ice Emmy right now. Well done, Ed. Well, it's one of my favorite keeps in the game when done correctly. Correctly, like, all the way, not like there's a correct way to do it. I should rephrase that. Oh, Ed, not getting the water bomb jumps. Oof. There we go, gets a third try. It's one of those things where something so small like a water bomb jump, when they don't work, it's like, okay, what's going on? Can definitely feel bad. Clean CU kill from Ed. Meanwhile, jlack is getting that those super missiles right now. I think I was I don't remember the time that I said, but Ed has built a pretty commanded lead at this point. I think that's about a 3 or 4 minute difference. I want to say it was like a 45 or something, 46 or a 47. Either way, Ed has built a commanded lead at this point. 45, that's what I thought. Thank you, Infinity. So about 49 for jlack, so he's about almost 5 minutes behind. But again, anything can happen in a tournament setting, so... Now comes another really fun trick in this run. We do have to grab the spin boost in this run, as opposed to the space jump. You can still grab the space jump in this run, however, it is slower to do. So we grab the spin boost, which activates a boss fight that we also normally skip in both 100% and any percent. To get there in the most efficient way, though, we use a glitch known as ledge warping. So this is a storage glitch. Ed has it. He does have this ledge warp. This is a storage manipulation glitch where you're basically morphing onto a platform right before the frame that Samus would jump up onto it. So when you do that, and you have the ledge warp glitch stored, you're able to exit the glitch from the exact... If you jump and unmorph in the exact direction that you were stored the glitch in, you will warp back to the ledge that you stored it on. And this ends up being like a 25-30 second save right here upon grabbing the spin boost, because you don't need to, go back through everything. You can quite simply do what Ed's about to do. And, oh my goodness, wow, okay, I thought for certain that he had that, and you can kind of tell that Ed thought for certain he had it as well. That is interesting. Or ordinarily, you would use the ledge warp, and it would bring you back right here, and you wouldn't have to do any of that. So, unfortunate time loss on Ed's part, but you can tell that he was just as confused. You can tell he thought he had it too. One of the coolest animations in this game, in my opinion, is this Chozo robot falling off the wall when you spark into it. There's a cool speed boost you can do here too. He is going for it. Does end up failing it. It's a tricky one. You're basically able to spark up through right here, so. So Ed's going to be heading back to Berenia now to grab the gravity suit. Berenia 3 is not all that difficult. Berenia 3 is pretty notorious for killing runs because of the speed boost shine spark puzzle leading up to early gravity. So it can definitely kill some runs. It can definitely be a meme, but we'll see how Ed factors into this right now. Let's get the store sparked. The spark stored. Jeez, I really can't talk today, you guys. I'm so sorry. The Nazi jump from Ed. That was really clean. I liked that a lot. jlack making his way to the Ice Emmy right now. Ooh, gets God Blobs. Nice. Really clean movement from Ed, heading up to the gravity suit. So this is where this now differs from any percent. So this is where this starts becoming more like hundo, because this is a pretty good intermediate category between any percent and 100%. There are bosses that you have to fight that are only available by going through Frozen Artaria. So in this run, we do have to go into Frozen Artaria, take out a Chozo soldier, and then take out Z57. So Frozen Artaria, I think collectively is one of the most, definitely one of the coolest, one of the most favored moments of the game for a lot of the community. It's really cool. The movement is very sick. So yeah, we'll see this in action right now. jlack just got the Ice Beam, so he's going to be heading out on his way to the spin boost right now. We'll see if he's able to grab the Ledge Warp. He'll get some time back on Ed if he does. Good fight on Ed's part. You're seeing what he can and can't tank because he only does have that those two tanks. jlack opted not to go for the Ledge Warp, so either he's not comfortable going for it or he just doesn't know it. Either way. Something to note about the room that Ed just got out of is in 100%, that one flash shifting out of that room that you fight that soldier in causes the room to lag when you come back to it during cleanup. However, if you don't flash shift out of it, it doesn't. So because we're not coming back to this isn't Hundo, we don't have to do a cleanup section, we're able to just flash shift out of it, no problem. Cool speed keep to get up there right there. You're seeing why this is a favored section among the runners. It's all movement, all very fun speed booster movement. Well done, Ed. It's about as close to optimal as you can get. jlack just finishing up with the spin boost fight. Didn't charge the speed booster though, so we'll probably just be flash shifting up here, yeah. Frozen Cataris. Not as fun of a section as Frozen Artaria. Pretty straightforward though. Normally you don't need that missile. I'm not sure if that was an intentional grab from Ed or if he missed the jump, but either way. Normally you don't need that missile. Thank you for taking some pictures, Ed. So Ed is doing right now on Z57, Ed is doing what we call charge shots, charge missiles, where you quick charge and fire a charge shot and fire a missile immediately after. It is that simple. However, in order to do it consistently, it's definitely harder than it looks. You can see that a couple of those failed. So a lot harder of a trick than it looks. jlack on his way to the gravity suit right now, going through this. Oh, and he fails the speed boost. I'm so sorry, jlack. Caster Curse. I will take the blame for that, my guy. I apologize. Ed on his way out of Cataris now that it's back to normal. Really cool speed keep right here. Spicy movement on Ed's part. All his ABG days in full force for him right now. Alright, jlack makes it through as well. In 100%, there's another ledge warp that you can do right here. But since we're not going back that direction, it would not make sense to go for it in this category. 10102 on the screw attack for Ed. Meanwhile, 10107 for the gravity suit from jlack. So Ed's going to be heading back to Berenia. I think this is the only category that has a Berenia 4 in it. Other than Hundo, but like... Yeah, I think Berenia's... Or Hundo's Berenia 4, technically speaking, I think is just cleanup. Unless it's 5 and I'm forgetting. But either way, I digress. Runners will be technically high-fiving on this elevator. One's going up, one's going down. Well done, Ed. I was holding my breath for him there. I did not think that that was going to work. Good Berenia Twins fight from Ed so far. Oh, unfortunately, jlack uses his spark, so... Oh no, and unfortunately he uses it again! Alright, Ed's gonna be making his way back up to Gaverin so that he can get the cross bombs. Most commonly known as the worst items in the game, however, spin boost does exist. So jlack will be making his way through Frozen Artaria right now. Interesting, he's charging a speed boost. I'm not sure why. Oh, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing. Nice. Oh, unfortunately doesn't get the jump out. Ed meanwhile goes for the figure 8. On the Golzuna kill. Oh, and doesn't get it. Oh no! Oh no, and Ed only has the 2 tanks, and so he's gonna take a death to Golzuna. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. But this is why I've elected to, if I fail that kill, just simply not go for, I simply load last checkpoint. So we'll see how he fares better round 2 with Golzuna. Alright, he gets it this time. Let the record show that Golzuna doesn't beat Ed twice in a row. jlack making his way up the movement through Frozen Arts. And Ed does not get memed by the cross bombs, so... Ed's gonna be heading up to Gaverin, or not Gaverin, he's in Gaverin. He's leaving Gaverin, heading up to Hanubia. However, Hanubia is the surface of planet ZDR. However, he, unlike Criteria in Super, not a lot of time is spent on Hanubia. He's just gonna be briefly passing through Hanubia before heading back to Ferenia to collect a few more items before hitting the end of the game. Very nice speed from speed segment from Ed right there. jlack does avoid the missile, head into Z57 right now. Well, soon it starts the fight swiping. So he only gets one set of swipes, that's not too bad. Alright, so with Upper Ferenia here, this is where we used to grab Space Jump as well, but Space Jump is no longer necessary in this run. It is, we found, slower to get. So we do the final moments of this run with just the Spin Boost, which adds its own very unique set of challenges to it, because Spin Boost is an item of all time, and not in the good way. So, good movement so far from Ed. Something to keep in note since he's going through this Emmy section right now, the Wave Beam Emmy is blind. There are moments where it sees you, but it just doesn't see you. Compared to the other Emmys where they're very quick, if they do see you, you get caught. So, oh no, unfortunately jlack takes a death to goals or to Z57. That is not what you want to see if you're jlack. Unfortunate for sure. Oh, unfortunately, Ed messes up the optimal kill right here. Was going for the 2 cycle. That's the 3 cycle, no problem. Ooh, bad RNG from jlack's part. That sucks. You really hate whenever Z57 doesn't cooperate. This is a really fun boss, but it's so annoying when it doesn't go your way. Ed has Storm Missiles now, so he'll be making his way to the Ferenia Twin Soldier fight before going to grab the Wave Beam. But yeah, anyway, this, yeah, the Emmy is blind. Fun fact. It might have the largest vision radius of Emmys, but it is blind, so... Good fight on Ed's part. jlack, meanwhile, heading out of Catarus now. Gonna go grab the screw attack. Fortunately, he loses his speed keep midway through. No big deal though. Especially challenging spin boost wise, because a lot of the movement sections in this game it's possible to do without space jump, but you can definitely tell that they were designed with space jump being... They were designed in mind with you already having space jump, so while possible, it's a little harder to do. Ed's gonna go for this quick kill on the Wave Beam Emmy now, one of the most notorious quick kills in the game. It is possible to plant kill this Emmy as well, however you can only miss 4 shots, I believe, on the Emmy's faceplate while it's coming down right here. Otherwise you do have to jump over like Ed did. Oh no, Ed! This is bold from Ed. Rather than going underneath, he's opting to go back over it. Ed doesn't know where to go. Oh no! Okay, he found it. Casual strats, everybody. Oh, jlack unfortunately failing the speed keep up to the Berenia twins. Ed does kill the Emmy. Safe. Lot of action on the screen right now. Yeah, me too, Ed. Well done, though. jlack making his way through the Berenia twins. Good fight on his part. There is a speed keep that you can do here with spin boost on the way out of the Emmy section right here. But since Ed started where he did because of the way the fight went, he was not able to do it. So no big deal. So jlack is going to be making his way towards Golzuna, while Ed is making his way to the end of the game. Oh, jlack failing the Golzuna kills, having to go. Oh no, loses the takes the death on Golzuna, fails the quick kill and opts for the casual kill. This is why you'll never see me, if I fail the Golzuna kill, go for that. I will simply load the last checkpoint. Ooh, he does the morph ball spin. Root does that as well. Gets the fight this time though. Good job, jlack. So like I mentioned, Ed is, now that the first soldier is dead, is going to be making his way to the golden Chozo soldier, the golden elite soldier, before heading to Raven Beach to end the game. Crossbomb's not memeing jlack today, that's good. Ed has to be very careful not taking damage from this soldier. Again, he only has 2 tanks. This soldier does quite a lot of damage, but he makes it through. $116 on the soldier kill. About a 3-minute-ish Raven Beach fight. A minute escape. Well, 2-minute escape. Yeah, Ed's looking about to be at a high 121, a low 122, possibly. Not bad at all for this category. If he gets a really good Raven Beat fight, the 121 is still alive, but... Correct, Delusional, something like that. Because the gold soldier is doing percent damage as opposed to the normal damage, like the other soldiers. Oh, interesting. Opts not to go for the spark, but instead crossbomb his way up. I like it. It's finicky. Or not finicky, but English. Whatever. Alright, we'll see how Ed's Raven Beak fight goes. Gets the optimal pattern in phase 1. Does get gold skip. Nice. So far, good RNG in phase 2. Ooh, jlack just barely getting spotted by the Emmy. He should be good to get out of this though before the Emmy gets him. Really clean fight, really clean phase 2 from Ed so far. The start of it was a little weird, but it's been really good to start. A really good sense. Ed wants to be careful here if I were him. Again, the danger of only having 2 tanks during the later stages of this game is you can tank significantly less damage. Raven Beach goes for a counter. Ed jumps it out of it. He should be dead right about now. It's been pretty movement heavy in this phase 3. Yeah, not a good phase 3 for Raven Beach. Very jumpy during that. Ooh, jlack unfortunately fails the spark on SQ. No biggie, he does have screw attack, so SQ doesn't do damage to him. Yes, Ed had a very, very close fight. That very much was almost a death on his part. Alright, Raven Beat X is just a damage check, so... But here's the thing again. Spin boost escape. The game thinks or expects you to have a space jump when you're doing all this. So it's possible to do it without. It does make it a little bit more difficult though. So yeah. So Ed is looking at a high 120 at the moment. I would say, if not a low 121. jlack has a little bit of issue with the Ferenia twins at the moment. The 2 hardest rooms of the spin boost escape are incoming right here. Nice. Very clean from Ed. Finishing with a 120.50. So Ed is going to be the winner of this race. Very clean spin boost escape. We're going to be swapping over to jlack's audio, where he will be finishing the game momentarily. He's going into this wave beam sequence at the moment. GG to Ed, finishing once again with a 120.50. Very good time in this category. Again, the game thinks you have space jump at this point, so unfortunately you just kind of struggle at times with just the spin boost. jlack does make it through though. jlack going for the older, not necessarily safer. Well, yes, safer, but older, not as technical, not as difficult to kill. So. Alright, jlack has now finished the Wave Beam Emmy. He'll be on his way to the end of the game. Again, there's a couple more fights to go. But now that he's all decked out, Wave Beam up, ready to go. Excuse me. As jlack enters this end game, he'll, again, something to note, Ed only had 2 tanked, since jlack does have these extra energy tank. His end game should be a little safer than Ed's was, because he has that extra damage to tank. Shouldn't potentially die to Ravenbeak. We'll have a little bit more comfort with the Gold Soldier as well. Yeah, definitely gonna have to jump over that. Alright, safe. Alright, powerbomb gotten by jlack now. Oh, unfortunately, jlack did get powerbomb scammed. Another unfortunate reality of any percent categories. Again, jlack should have a little bit of extra leeway with damage to tank on this fight. Yeah, even if you have the leeway to tank it, you normally don't want to tank those shots that the gold soldier fires at you, but all good, he makes it through. All he has left to do now is get through Raven Beach. Raven Beach and the spin boost escape. jlack is going for the more standard charge and spark up, I should say. And now we'll enter Raven Beach. Ed had a really, really good phase 2, but a kind of awful phase 3. And not because of him, but just because of the RNG that Raven Beach gave him. So we'll see if jlack can get a better fight. Does go for the 2 on the Stormlock, and does get gold skip. Very well. Very nice, I should say. Pretty precarious phase 2 so far. He's taking a lot of damage that I don't think he's meaning to. Oof. Well, that happens sometimes. We will try again. See if we can get a better Raven Beach fights in round 2 with the evil dad bird. Ooh, the worst RNG pattern in phase 1, unfortunately, for jlack this time around. Goes for gold skip again. Goes the 2 locks again. And gets gold skip again. So we'll hope for a better phase 2 this time around. Starting off a little better. Again, I don't think that jlack is meaning to tank as much damage as he is, but out of missiles, unfortunately, so he will be able to just spam the wave beam. We hope for a better phase 3 now. Drops the power bomb on the sun, gets some health drops back. Raven Beach being kind of awful again. He'll be going for a counter here though. jlack does opt to take the counter, probably the safest bet considering how the fight has been going. Just try to get some damage into him. And jlack is through Raven Beach now. Alright, and so now we will go through the spin boost escape once again. Spin boost once again shown why it's one of the best items in the game. Unfortunate. jlack will have to go for the cross bombs up now. Okay, good a sequence so far. Now we'll go to the last couple rooms where, again, this is the hard part of the escape. Okay, it looks like he's opting to just close it out now. And with a final race time of 1:34:30. 0.69, nice. jlack will come in second place. So, now that that has been done, both runners are done with their race. We'll try and get them in for an interview, and we'll go from there. All right, let me see. All right, we'll try to, let me see here. Let me see. All right. Hello, Ed.
Hello, friendo.
I am still trying to get jlack in here, but GG, nice run.
Thanks.
Let me see. Sorry, continue.
No, it's fine. I was just saying it was a good run, except for when it wasn't.
We were winning up until we lost.
Exactly. I had it in the first half.
Not gonna lie.
There he is.
Okay. I was about to.
You should be able to pull him up, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. What's up? Go.
Let me. Well, I guess we can go ahead and talk about this then at the moment.
Yeah.
Ed, how did you feel that your run went?
It overall felt pretty good. Had a pretty good run. I made so many gold splits this run. I had so many sections that were super, super clean.
Nice.
The death to Green Emmy was insanity. The Golzuna, he touched my toes, and it was just not
Literally.
nice of him. And I don't know what happened with Wave Emmy. I really thought that it was time to start charging that Omega Cannon, but I think I was like 1 or 2 shots off.
That wave beam. Yeah, you had a couple of moments that were just.
I lost about as much time as if I would have died to it.
Yeah, ain't no way.
I lost 55 seconds on that split, so
How fun.
it was not a fun time for sure. But I will say I brought my sum of best down to a 116.55, so that feels good.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I was saying, there were a couple moments in this run that you had really good movement, really clean sections too. So you
Yeah.
did get drawed one cycle, which I mean, as we know, has become one of these like pivotal moments of this run. Like you either get it or you just choose to lose 20 seconds. It's
Literally, that's what
kind of
happened. It's
awful.
rough. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, the man himself.
Hello, jlack. GG, nice run.
GG's, dude.
Hi, G to you too, man.
Thank you.
I was just asking Ed how he thought his run went. How about you?
Well, up until gravity, it was pretty decent. I was only like 10 seconds behind my PB, so
Oh, dang.
Nice.
after that, it was kind of terrible.
Yeah, it'd be
Know
like
the feeling, friend.
Yeah. Everything post gravity is where this run starts to get like just not hard, but like really frustrating. So definitely relate to that.
I feel like it really gets to a point after gravity where it's like if you don't execute the thing, you just lose 15 to 20 seconds for free. Like that's it. It's just like, you just lose time.
Yeah, you're literally not choosing, but it's like
Not
the game's
choosing.
choosing for you. You're losing time. And it's like, but why? Why do I have to lose time? Because I said so.
And usually I is Golzuna.
Golfuna
Yeah.
kind of screwed me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was mentioning it in comms. This is why I've chosen to quite simply, if I fail one of the first 2-3 sparks, I am simply going again. I am loading last checkpoint. I'm not dealing with that.
It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, good fight.
I got redemption though. I got the quick kill after that.
Yeah, you
Nice.
did get the quick kill on the second one. Yeah, just true. That's true. I wanted to talk about the Raven Beach fights because Ed, you went for the 2 tank strats, I guess. So obviously, at that point you can taint this, you shouldn't taint that. If you do taint this, then you can't taint the next thing.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you because you had a really good phase 1 and 2, and then a pretty god awful phase 3, and that's
Yeah,
not on
buddy.
that's not on you. That's on Ravenbeak, you know. So I wanted to ask you what you were thinking during that phase 3.
My only thought that just repeated over and over in my head was give me a son, give me a son, give me a son. Because I was like, I'm just gonna die. Like, I don't want to
Please.
die in phase 3. I've
Please
already
give me a sign.
Yeah, like you never think that when you're fighting Ravenbeak. You're never like, oh, I really want to lay a power bomb right now. Like you're normally like, don't give me a son. I just want to drill damage into you. I was like, I need a son or a parry, because otherwise I'm just gonna die.
And you almost did. You
I think I
really
was at 10.
managed to hold off that last swipe really well.
Yeah, I think I was at 10 HP at one point, and I was just like, well.
Yeah, that was again, well done on knowing your limits and knowing all of that, because again, 2 taints versus 3 taints is just you wouldn't think it's a lot, but even with the any percent runs, that like if you taint 2 taints versus 3 taints, it's just a whole lot more like calculations, like what can I taint? If I accidentally taint damage, then now I can't taint this. So
Right.
it's a lot of that mental thinking goes into it. So good job on that.
Thank you, sir.
And then jlack, what was your what went wrong with the first fight with phase 2? What was going on with the patterns that Ravenbeak was giving you?
I don't really know, honestly. My brain just like shut off or something. I don't know. My fingers stopped working. I was like, what's going on? And shit happens, like, or stuff happens, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Ravenbeak do be like that, unfortunately. Ravenbeak is pretty hard at times.
Jerk. He's just a jerk.
Well,
I don't really feel like it had much to do with him. It's just my fingers were getting tired, and I don't know.
that's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's a long run, especially when you are getting into that time frame. Especially because again, like it's an any percent run, but it's like mixed with hundo kind of route wise, so it's just kind of like longer on your hands if you're not necessarily prepared for it. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Well, jlack, you are going down to the losers bracket. Looks like you are going to be awaiting the loss between Stat and Grady. Which should be a fun match. And then Ed, you are moving forward to face off against Ednolium, or your Ednolium.
I'm gonna fight
Exception.
myself.
I'm
Hell
so sorry.
yes, I'm definitely gonna win.
Against Exception. What are your thoughts on that matchup? Because I do know that.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I remember noticing that if I remember reading, I mean, in the Discord, that if Exception mentioned that if you guys did end up fighting, or not fighting, but squaring off, potentially there was a ABG in consideration. So I wanted to ask about that.
So I would definitely gentleman's agreement to all bosses glitchless, because that's my category. I ran that category for like 10 months when the game came out.
That is your category.
I don't like early cloak pseudo, and the whole I didn't like early cloak pseudo, so I ran glitchless. So that was it. But I think that'll be a really fun match because Exception's are a really good runner, and I know we're fairly equal in skill levels. So I really truly think it could go either way.
Yeah, it will be a fairly exciting matchup, especially considering the potential for our candy in the round following that. So,
but then I don't get to do Darkroom pseudo, and that's a bummer. I love Darkroom pseudo. I'm a believer in it now.
Pseudo. I completely forgot that you did do Darkroom pseudo, so you went for it, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, he does that.
Yeah, I do that now. But yeah, whichever one of us wins having to go against our candy, it just means that we're both going to end up in the losers bracket.
You know, that's a positive mindset. I guess, because I've even looked through.
Try my best, but
I've even looked through the bracket myself, and I've like, okay, so if I manage to somehow do this, and then somehow manage to make it through that, and then somehow manage to do this, I'm looking at SAT. So
yep.
But we'll get there when we get there. And then jlack, what are you thinking about the possibilities between Sat versus Grady for your next round?
Well, I guess I'm gonna be racing Sat. You know, my man Greggy. He's gonna pull out a world record down.
He's gonna
True,
crush it.
true and real. JLack has you shaking in your boots. We're gonna need a response from you.
I'm assuming so long as nothing goes wrong, I'm probably gonna be racing Greggy. I raced him in the last tournament, and it was fun. So
True, true.
That'll be
he
a good
beat me
match.
by
too.
3 seconds last time, so I need some redemption.
Yeah, that will be a fun matchup, depending on however that happens. But I don't want to take too much more of your guys' time. Very nice run today. Congratulations to both of you. Congrats, Ed, for the time. Hopefully, in following races, it goes a little bit better. You don't get memed on as much by the game.
Yeah. Don't just flush PBs down the toilet for free.
Literally, just
Yeah.
let's not flush PBs. That'd be great.
Yep.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for this interview, I guess. If you guys would like to follow the runners, here is their links. And then, of course, I also run this game, and I'm also in this tournament. So if you would like to follow me as well, there is going to be all of our links to do that. GG's again, Ed. GG's again, jlack. Thank you for the race today.
GG.
We're going to be signing off at that point. So thank you all so much for watching this this race between Ednolium and jlack in the 2023 All Bosses No Major Glitches tournament. And until then, we will see you next mission. Have a great day, everybody.
Later.